Now, we're all still reeling from the horrific deaths of Queensland mum Hannah Clark and her gorgeous children last week. It's an awful story, but domestic violence is something Australian police deal with every couple of minutes in this country before any abuse escalates is key. So, did you know that there are currently 280 kind Australians who have registered their spare rooms as temporary accommodation for women in low-risk domestic abuse situations? Our next guest is determined to increase that number to 500 by April. Please welcome Jaeneen Cunningham from Safe Haven Community. It's nice to have you, Jaeneen. I didn't even know a register like this actually existed. How did this all come about?
I guess with domestic violence, mostly people think of physical abuse. So out of the 100%, there's 20% that's, you know, precursive, I guess, and preventative measures. There's 20% that is violent, and most people hear about that in the news. But 60% is coercive behaviour, people who have controlling behaviours. So when somebody is in that area, there's not many services that help them.
So we're talking emotional manipulation, financial abuse, verbal abuse, that type of thing, and these rooms give a safe haven for those who might be experiencing that.
Well, those women, it escalates to physical violence if we don't get them out. So if we can get them out beforehand, some of them don't even know that they're in a controlling situation. So if we can get them out, like Hannah, if we could have got her out beforehand and she had a safe haven, he wouldn't have been able to know where she was.
It is such a brilliant idea, and good on you for coming up with it. You know, like the best ideas, they're so ingenious and simple at the same time. Tell us exactly how it works.
So if you're in trouble and you go to a service provider, and if you're in physical violence, and if you're not in physical violence, they'll say to you, OK, contact Safe Haven, you fit into this category. Right. So we call it low risk. So they contact us, and we have providers, the people who actually give up their rooms, and we match the two. So if you wanted to be a provider, you might have a spare room, you might be older and have, you know, be single, and you want to give back to the community. So you can register that room. We ask you a whole heap of questions, go through security issues, and then with the female that comes from the agency, we match the two of them up together. Anywhere from 2 days to 4 weeks you can stay in a home.
Wow, that's a great idea, especially with so many women's shelters being shut down as well, and women having nowhere to go, which is why they often stay in these kinds of relationships. It's crucial work that you're doing, and we'd like now to everyone at home to hear from some of the women that you've helped.
So I was in a very emotionally controlling and abusive relationship. It didn't start out that way, though. It was great in the beginning. He was very charismatic and had a great sense of humour, and yeah, we got along really well. About a year into it, though, things started to go a little bit pear-shaped. He started abusing me verbally and began to control my relationships with my friends and also financially as well. I started to feel very unsafe, and there was actually nowhere for me to go because I wasn't being physically abused. None of the charities that I called, none of the services, the community services could help me. So I felt really trapped. Just thought, there's just nowhere for me to go. I had no friends, no family, very isolated. And then someone told me about Safe Haven. And it was a godsend.
So good you're doing this and getting people out before that real danger zone hits, which is the best way to do it. We've heard, of course, and seen that despite all the talk, despite all the desperation, the words, domestic violence stats aren't going down. In some ways, they're going up. What can people who are tearing their hair out, how can they help? How can they contribute to Safe Haven, even if they don't have a room?
If they don't have a room, they could actually donate. We have a program called A Fiver for a Survivor. So $5 a week, which would be less than a cup of coffee. If you could give up that for 52 weeks, that's $260. That will give a female 2 weeks of accommodation. Wow. So my daughter's 15 and she donates $5 of her pocket money every week to save a female. If you are on Twitter or any social media, if you could like us or follow us and spread the word out there. I know, Joe, you've done that on
Yep.
Twitter for us,
Love you guys.
which is
Yep.
fantastic.
I'm right behind him. This is
Yep.
brilliant. I just
Yeah.
love how practical it is.
Yes. So, and yeah, if you can if you haven't got a room, it's just spreading the word
Great.
and letting
if you
other
do,
people
of
know.
course, get online and register.
Absolutely. Get online, register. It's really easy to get on the website and follow it. If you don't, give us a call. We can walk you through it.
Fantastic.
Safe Haven, it's a great organisation. You can either offer up a room or you can make a donation. Head to safehavencommunity.com.au. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Good on you.
Thank you.